Soissons, French pronunciation, SWAS, is a commune in the Aisne department in Hauts-de-France in northern France. Located on the Aisne River, about 100 kilometers, 62 miles, northeast of Paris. It is one of the most ancient towns of France, and is probably the ancient capital of the Suessiones. Soissons is also the see of an ancient Roman Catholic diocese, whose establishment dates from about 300. History. Soissons enters written history under its Celtic name, as later borrowed in Latin, Novia Dunum, meaning New Hill Fort. At Roman contact, it was a town of the Suessiones, mentioned by Julius Caesar, b.g. E. 12, Caesar, b.c. 57. After leaving the Aisne, modern Aisne, entered the territory of the Suessiones, and making one day's long march, reached Novia Dunum, which was surrounded by a high wall and a broad ditch. The place surrendered to Caesar from 457 to 486, under Aegidius and his son Syagrius. Novia Dunum was the capital of the Kingdom of Soissons, until it fell to the Frankish king Clovis I in the Battle of Soissons. Part of the Frankish territory of Neustria, the Soissons region, and the Abbey of St. Medard, built in the 8th century, played an important political part during the rule of the Merovingian kings. A.D. 447 to 751. After the death of Clovis I in 511, Soissons was made the capital of one of the four kingdoms into which his states were divided. Eventually, the kingdom of Soissons disappeared in 613 when the Frankish lands were amalgamated under Clotaire II. In 744 the Synod of Soissons met at the instigation of Pippin III and St. Boniface, the Pope's missionary to pagan Germany, secured the condemnation of the Frankish bishop Adalbert and the Irish missionary Clement. During the 100 Years' War, French forces committed a notorious massacre of English archers stationed at the town's garrison, in which many of the French townsfolk were themselves raped and killed. The massacre of French citizens by French soldiers shocked Europe. Henry V of England, noting that the town of Soissons was dedicated to the saints Crispin and Crispinian, claimed to avenge the honor of the saints when he met the French forces at the Battle of Agincourt on St. Crispin's Day 1415. Between June 1728 and July 1729 it hosted the Congress of Soissons, an attempt to resolve a long-standing series of disputes between Great Britain and Spain which had spilled over into the Anglo-Spanish War of 1727. The Congress was largely successful and led to the signing of a peace treaty between them. During the First World War the city came under heavy bombardment. There was mutiny after the disastrous Chemin des Dames offensive. A statue erected with images of French soldiers killed in action in 1917 is behind the St. Peter's Church, next to the Soissons courthouse. The town was on the main path of totality for the solar eclipse of August 11, 1999. Population. Sites. Today, Soissons is a commercial and manufacturing center with the 12th-century Soissons Cathedral and the ruins of St. Jean d'Avene Abbey as two of its most important historical buildings. The nearby Espèce Pierres Folles contains a museum, geological trail, and botanical garden. Landmarks. Cathedral. The Cathédrale Saint-Gervais et Saint-Protais de Soissons is constructed in the style of Gothic architecture. The building of the south transept was begun about 1177, and the lowest courses of the choir in 1182. The choir, with its original three-story elevation and extremely tall clerestory, was completed in 1211. This was earlier than Chartres, on which the design was supposed to have been based, Work then continued into the nave until the late 13th century. Abbey of Notre Dame. The former Abbey of Notre Dame, former Royal Abbey, founded in the Merovingian era, famous for its rich treasure of relics, including the shoe of the Virgin. The abbey was prestigious abbesses like Giselle, sister of Charlemagne, or Catherine de Bourbon, aunt of Henry IV. St. Médard Abbey. The St. Médard Abbey was a Benedictine monastery of Soissons whose foundation went back to the 6th century. Only the crypt remains today. City Hall. The City Hall, built by architect Jean-François Advenet between 1772 and 1775, at the request of the intendant Pelletier Mortefontaine on the site of the old castle counts of Soissons. The town hall settled there in 1833. Arsenal. Contemporary art exhibitions. UK Monument. 1914 to 1918. La Passerelle des Anglais Bridge. The Gateway Anglais Bridge is a concrete caisson-built cantilevered from an abutment against weight, with an isostatic central beam of 20.50 meters in length. The floor has a width of 3.50 meters between railings. The original bridge was destroyed in 1914. It was rebuilt by British soldiers, and logically took the name of the English Bridge. Again destroyed during World War II. The bridge was rebuilt in 1950 as a footbridge. The Covered Market. Built in 1908 by architect Albert Désiré Gilbert. 1866 to 1949. Personalities. The actress Aurore Clement was born in Soissons in 1945. The saints Crispin and Crispinian were martyred c. 286 at Soissons for preaching Christianity to the local Gauls. The 6th century Burgundian king Guntram was born in Soissons around 532. See also Battle of Soissons. Communes of the Aisne department. Franks. List of Frankish kings. Merovingians. Suessiones. Vase of Soissons. Wolf of Soissons. Sessions. Surname. This article incorporates text from a publication now in the public domain. Smith, William, ed. 1854–1857. Article name needed. Dictionary of Greek and Roman Geography. London. John Murray. IINSEE. Official website. In French. Catholic Encyclopedia. Soissons. A live view of the port of Soissons. Discovering Soissons. Soissons Powerlifting Club. English. Local bus routes.